Hello everyone and welcome to part 6 of 10 tips and tricks in Rainbow Six Siege to help you instantly improve. A lot of other people's trick videos always use the same tricks every single time, but I try and keep it fresh by always presenting you something new. So I do put a lot of effort into these videos, so all I ask, if you do enjoy, hit that like button, drop a comment since it does help, and if you haven't already, hit the sub button since we're on our road to 200,000 subscribers. And who knows, maybe check out my Twitch as well, but now that we got all the e-begging out the way, let's go straight into this video. So this first trick is going to be for mirror. This is going to be a little different way on how you can play mirror windows and adds a lot more depth to her gadget, which you probably haven't thought of before. And that is using her mirror windows on reinforced walls whilst open to create some insane one-way angles which enemies are going to have an extremely tough time to fight against. I'm going to do you guys a favor and give you two extremely good examples of this. The first one being on border, which I use all the time. So what you want to do is reinforce this single wall which looks into archives, especially since the other side of this is very common for people to push and go for a plan. Now you want to make sure that you're placing your mirror window at crouch height. Do not do it standing. And once this mirror window is placed, you can keep it closed and use it as any other mirror window if you want. However, there's a bit of a contingency plan here. If the mirror window gets popped or it gets shattered or they're going for a push on the other side, it can be quite wise to open this mirror window yourself, take a few steps back, and as you can see, it will create this one-way angle looking onto the long hallway outside, and you're going to get some pics from this. Now, this makes it extremely awkward for someone on the receiving end to fight back. I'm not going to come out here and say that you're invincible. They can fight back, but you have an advantage with this angle since they're going to have to peek into your perspective rather than you playing into theirs. This one works for me all the time, and it's starting to be one of my go-to strats when defending armory on border. I'm going to give you another great example of this. We're going to go to Cafe Dostoevsky and we're going to jump down to the kitchen bomb site. Using this same logic that we just used on the other one, we can place a mirror window on the main wall, take a few steps back behind some cover, and create another insane one-way angle onto the bakery double door. Again, you're going to have a massive advantage against anyone who is walking in this door, and you're going to severely slow down their push. I highly recommend trying these two the next time you play border and cafe. Now for this next one, let's stay on the topic of mirror, but let's look at a trick for an operator who is a counter to mirror, and that's Maverick. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to show you how a Maverick trick. I'm not that boring. We've seen that all about a million times. No, this is a trick I've seen floating around recently on the map Clubhouse. It can be quite common for someone to place a mirror window on the right side of church wall, and honestly, it doesn't even necessarily have to be a mirror window here. A lot of people like to hide in this corner, and this angle you're going to get using Maverick through the floor, yes, using his blowtorch through the floor, is going to expose a lot of angles here. So what you need to do is make some holes above this wall just to the side, because of course you can't get full vert inside of church, it's only in the hallway, but making vertical holes here is pretty common standard anyway. So bringing out your blowtorch and looking through these holes beside the metal beams, there's actually enough distance for you to start mavericking the top of this wall and get some bullets through to the other side. Like I was saying, even if there isn't a mirror playing there, a lot of people who are playing hard support on cameras or maybe even a Scopos like to hide in that corner there, and you can take them by surprise. Honestly, learning this trick has opened up a new can of worms for Maverick, and there's probably so many more maps and sites where you can do this which we are yet to learn, so be on the lookout for this. Right, this next tip is going to be for the latest operator Scopos, and that is the fact that both of her robots will drop a little data chip, which is their version of dropping a phone, so Dokkaebi can hack it. And when she does that, she gets full access to cameras, like when she hacks any other phone. This means when Scopos hides a shell at the other side of the map, for example, and it gets roam cleared very early on, it will drop a little data chip, and Dokkaebi can hack it and get full access to cameras, meaning that you gotta play smart with your shells. And if you're on attack, bringing in an IQ and a Dokkaebi means that you can find this idle shell very fast, and basically get quick access to defenders' cameras. Even in the prep phase, if you see that Scopos is putting her shell outside of sight and quite far away, bring that Dokkaebi, hunt that shell down, and get quick access to defenders' cameras. Next up, we're going to head over to the latest map in Rainbow Six Siege, Lair. I personally love this map, and I'm going to show you 3 different rappelling locations which can help you take a lot of sights and angles which people won't be expecting. So this this first one is going to be outside of operational, which looks onto mezzanine. This is a very common push point for the attackers, both when attacking the top floor as well as when attacking the armory bomb site. All you want to do is go on rappel on this little bit outside the door, and as you can see, you can look over the little half wall and see anyone who is contesting the double door. Pairing this with anyone who is standing to the side of the other window to pinch mezzanine, you can use this on anyone who gets aggressive onto operational double door. These next two are going to be for the basement bomb site attack. The first one is going to be outside of barrel windows. You can go on rappel and look over another little half wall and see into barrels, again contesting anyone in there, and for the most part they're not really going to know you're there unless you give away your position quite early, and you're going to get quite a good pick on someone who's expecting you to be on the window. As well as this, you can actually get a pixel angle all the way into lockers, which would hit someone at head level. This wall is typically reinforced, but if someone is crossing, there is a chance you're going to hit them. It's just going to be quite a rare occasion. And the final one I'm going to show off is just around the corner from the last one. If you go to the double wall, the exterior double wall on warehouse, which can be reinforced, sometimes it will be, sometimes it won't, so you may have to bring a hard breacher for this, especially Ace is quite good for this. But if you make a hole at the very top left, you can actually see all the way into missile hallway and catch anyone who is off guard, especially standing on the missile door. Layer is an absolutely incredible map, and I urge you to learn it more if you're still struggling with it, and these tips will definitely help. This next one is for when you're holding garage in clubhouse and you're going to be playing as the operator Kaid. And not only are you going to be holding garage, but you're also going to be holding lounge as well as bottom red stairs. Here's what you gotta do. So to begin with, you want to reinforce the two exterior walls in garage. Grab both sides, and this is a total of 4 reinforcements. You then want to go onto the rafters, and above both of these breaches, dedicate an electric claw to both of them. And these electric claws cannot be hit by Kali's charges. They're going to have to be with EMPs. But then what you're going to want to do is start opening a bunch of head holes in this wall into lounge. Here you can see into stock door if you go on the stairs, and you'll see a lot of people crossing through this area. Mixing this with Kiba barriers as well is going to give you a lot of cover, and you're just going to severely suppress anyone pushing through lounge, especially if you have a teammate on red stairs. They're going to be contesting the enemy is going to be displaced, and they're going to fall right into your line of sight. And as well as this, you're holding garage very well using these 2 electric claws. I think one of the things which a lot of low ranked players really mistake about Clubhouse is how important it is to hold garage. A lot of you may be watching this right now and thinking it's dumb dedicating both electric claws to garage, but it's really not. You can bring another wall denial operator for the main breach, and as well as this, if you still have garage control and they have the main breach open, they're still going to struggle to go for a plant because you're going to hold that crossfire with the person in cash and with the person in red. Just because they have the breach open doesn't mean they can just walk into sight. So Kaid is an absolute tank when it comes to holding garage, and I highly recommend trying this. Right, I'm about to hit you with 2 back-to-back tips on the map coastline. This first one is going to be when you're trying to stop a plant on the default location on the bomb site hookah billiards. One of the most default locations for people to plant is behind the bomb chassis by Aqua, just because it provides a lot of cover. Well, if you actually play behind the cocktail bar and make a hole in the corner, throwing a nitro cell through this hole and sticking to the wall underneath, when detonated, will actually hit the person playing on the other side by the default plant location. This is because the nitro cell is technically below them, and it works pretty much in the same way if you were below that bomb site and throwing it up. But you're doing it from the safety of sight. And as well as this, even if your nitro fails, you don't have to run back up the stairs or something like that. Or if your nitro is successful, you're then still in a position to take anyone else out who is around that corner. It's just a very good thing to keep in mind. Now, this next one on coastline actually blew my mind when I learned it, and I guarantee you so many of you have never known this. So when someone's on kitchen window, it's quite a common run out to run out service door, go left, and shoot to the kitchen window, and hopefully take someone out. Well, did you know that this large wooden beam on the side of the wall is actually wall bangable? Yes, you can shoot through this wooden beam. And this can be used both ways. If you're an attacker on this window and you see someone runs out service, they probably don't know that you can shoot through this, and you can just wall bang where their operator icon is when they run out. And if you're the defender in this situation, you might as well just pre-fire this because it's a high chance that you're going to hit them. And again, the attacker is probably waiting for you to swing around this corner to then then shoot you. This is actually crazy, and it blew my mind that you can wallbang this. I never knew this for so long. There's probably so many other locations outside like this which are wallbangable that we don't know about. But I'm about to give you another one of my most used angles, this time on the map Outback. Now, peeking windows such as games can be extremely dangerous. The map is quite dark in the inside, so it's quite hard for attackers to see in. Defense have a little bit of advantage due to the lighting on this map, but there's actually a really safe way to peek game's window, and that is coming to this fridge which is outside and maneuvering yourself on top of this barrel. Now, you gotta look over to the double breach when you try and do this, and you'll see the vault prompt come up. Once you get on it, you can wiggle back on top, look over the fridge, and see directly into games. This works very good if your team are coordinating a plant and a push through Picnic, since then you can maybe bring a Zofia or an Ash or someone to open these walls and then watch the diffuser from out here. You are still exposed at this angle and you can still be hit, but the likelihood that they are going to be looking this high up when they pre-fire or swing the window is pretty low, and you should be able to get them first. Give this one a try the next time you play Outback. Now, this angle on Oregon is absolutely insane, and it's great when you're attacking Attic. So basically, the big box in Attic, which people stand up on, and people like to also breach behind so they can push it in safely. Well, if you bring a Maverick, for example, and you make a hole on the far right side of the tower wall, you can see past this box through a little angle, see anyone who is playing bottom attic. You can even catch anyone who is standing on this crate, since their feet will be poking out as well as their arms. I think this is a bit of a broken angle, and I don't think it was intentional. I think it was just a little mistake when they designed this map. It's up to debate if you think it's fair or not, or if you think it should be in the game, but it's in the game, so I'm going to show it to you, and people are going to use it. So let me actually ask a question, which you can comment in the comment section. Do you think this angle is fair, or do you think it should be removed? Let me know your thoughts. This next tip is for deimos, and that is the fact that deimos can be played as a very good vertical operator, especially when you're clearing breaches. Now, when you were going to clear a bandit from below, for example, a lot of people would favor the operator of Ash. Well, deimos can actually do this job pretty well with just his pistol and a set of grenades. Due to the destruction capabilities of his pistol, he can set up many holes which will allow him to throw grenades in. For example, on Canal, if you go underneath the main breach, you can easily make a hole and throw a grenade up, clearing anything on the wall. Same case on Outback, for example, if you're underneath the electrical wall, you can do the exact same thing. I'm not saying that you shouldn't bring an Ash to do this, or an IQ, or a Zofia, for example. I'm just letting you know that deimos is also very good at doing this due to the destruction capabilities of his pistol and the fact that he has frag grenades in his kit. This allows you to be quite a versatile operator on deimos, and if you're ever in a situation where maybe you've forgotten someone to bring the wall and you have a deimos on your team, you now know that if you need to, and if you are in that scenario, you can use deimos to easily clear the wall from below. And so everyone, that was part 6 of 10 tips and tricks in Rainbow Six Siege to help you instantly improve. Be sure to drop a comment and let me know which one of these tips was your favorite. I definitely think that the mirror one ways are my favorite one. So yeah, be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Drop a like on this video if you did enjoy, subscribe if you're new. Have a great rest of your day. I love you all. Peace.